Welcome back, first timers. But if you're new here, I'm David, and this is Terry.
We're the first timers. We're trying things for the first time, and you can too.
Welcome back for 2024, and in this episode, we're in Pensacola, Florida again. But this time, we're going retro and jumping on the Go Retro Trolley to check out 14 historic spots around Pensacola. One of the trolleys we're going to take, and they have two that they run. One is from the 1930s and another one from the 2000s. So a little bit older, but not quite as old as this gal.
They've got all kinds of tours. They've got haunted tours, ghost tours. We're doing a hop on, hop off tour, which takes you to 14 different spots around Pensacola. You can check out the pricing on their website, but they do have different prices for adults, teens, and kids.
With your ticket price, you also get admission to various locations around town and discounts from various restaurants. But we'll link their website in our description below, and that way you can make sure you take advantage of all those discounts that they offer.
Let's get on the bus.
We are on the bus, and this thing is great. There's wood ceiling. It's pretty original, but also is modern enough to have TVs installed. So this is pretty exciting.
Welcome to Go Retro's Hop On, Hop Off Tour. This is a great way to become acquainted with downtown Pensacola and explore areas along the route. Your wristband is your boarding ticket, and it also is a coupon for dozens of businesses offering perks totaling over $100. While the neighborhood has experienced gentrification, you can still find evidence of its roots in various soul food businesses, like the Blue Dot, Dwarf Chicken, and Five Sisters.
Five Sisters here on our
Next
left.
up, also called the Pride of Pensacola. It is an 84-foot long steam locomotive, and it's fuel-carrying tender. It was built in 1912 at the St. Louis-San Francisco Railway Company, better known as Frisco.
I know it's a bit of a chilly day, but who'd like to go grab some free gelato, huh?
Yeah. Joe Patti's is a famous seafood market, and he started this business right out of his back porch. And at this stop, you get free gelato with your wristband.
Joe Patti's is more than just a seafood restaurant. They also have a gift shop, wine shop, and like Terry mentioned, they have gelato, which you get for free on this tour. But man, their fish selection is massive. Anything that doesn't come off the boats here from the Gulf is shipped in fresh from all over the world. Canada, South America, all along the East Coast and the West Coast. So this is one of the premier places to get seafood in all this area. It's become an absolute mainstay and just a premier name in all seafood.
Got a couple of samples of gelato, one tiramisu, one strawberry. Let's test them out. Strawberry is really good. Nice and creamy, cold. Get the tiramisu. It's really good. It's super creamy and rich.
But let me try this tiramisu. That's rich and vibrant.
It's really good.
Decadent without being too sweet. Ooh, let's try the strawberry. Tastes super fresh, but I'm going with it.
Tiramisu is really where it's at.
I'm going with tiramisu. You also can get free samples of their cake. They had 3 options today, and we got 2 of the 3, so let's give that a whirl. First one's gonna be triple chocolate, white chocolate, dark chocolate, and milk chocolate.
Chocolatey. Real smooth.
That's a chocolatey overload. So good. All right, and then this one is the caramel brownie.
Is that cheesecake in there?
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's pretty good.
Dang. I know this place is known for their seafood, but definitely come here for their gelato and
their sweet treats.
2 thumbs up, Joe Patti. 2 thumbs up. Let's get back on the bus.
Pensacola Blue Water. The stadium on your right was completed in April 2012.
The northern reaches behind us used to be the home of various bars, the most famous of which probably was Trader John's.
Doomed 1559 Spanish expedition rest. Beyond that is Pensacola Bay, which is the largest and deepest on the Gulf of Mexico. You can board a ferry to either Pensacola Beach or Fort Pickens. Professional golfer Bubba Watson, who is from the area, owns Bubba's Sweet Spot. Discounts also exist at Peterbrook Chocolatier. These are just a few of the great emporiums that make South Halifax so special. Troops under General Andrew Jackson hoisted the U.S. flag here to accept ownership from Spain. Years later, it was where Confederate troops drilled. Building ahead on your left was built to be the City Hall in 1908. It now houses the Pensacola Museum. On your right is the Museum of Art.
This is the stop for the historic village. Right now it's closed for the holidays, but you do get tickets on the tour to the village, and it's 4 museums, and you can interact with the living history interpreters throughout the village. With your ticket, you can get entrance into some of the houses here in the village. The other houses are rented out by local businesses, and some even house local college students. With your tour wristband, you can get a pint of beer here at Pensacola Brewery for $5.
If it wasn't morning time, and if we like beer, we'd probably definitely take them up on their offer.
Completed in 1832, is the oldest sanctuary in Florida. Today, it is a popular place for weddings.
The Quina house behind me is the oldest house here in Pensacola on its original foundation. It's also a museum, which you get admission to with your tour wristband. It's run by a local historical association here in Pensacola, and they operate only off of donations, so make sure you drop a little donation in the pot for them. Well, we heard some ghost stories in the museum, picked up some marmalade, and now we're headed to the cemetery to see what other spookiness we can find. We're now at St. Michael's Cemetery. It was started back in the 1800s, and there's about 3,200 graves here. It became a state park in 1949, and this is the resting place of a lot of historic, notable figures here in Pensacola.
Mason Park, named after Admiral Charles Mason, who was a veteran of both World Wars and 2-time mayor of Pensacola.
Since the advent of spray can paint in the late 1940s, this bridge has never had the same look for long.
So we did the whole tour. We saw all the stops, all 14. You can really stop at any point and get off, and they'll come back and get you. But what we decided to do was ride the whole tour, get a lay of the land, and then go back to the stops that we want to see.
That's a wrap on the tour. Now we're gonna go find some food. See you in a few minutes.
All right, we're just outside of Five Sisters Blues Cafe in downtown Pensacola. This restaurant opened in 2010, and it's part of a citywide initiative to really celebrate and honor some of the historic cultures and people of the area. The chef here was also a chef at its sister restaurant, The Fish House, but what he did was he wanted to take recipes from his family, his mom, his grandma, and incorporate it here at this restaurant to honor his family's history, but then also the long history of blues here in Pensacola.
They have a bunch of home-style food. They've got mac and cheese, chicken and waffles, meatloaf, baked chicken, fried chicken. The fried chicken's supposed to be really good.
There's even oxtail, which I didn't get this time. I'm probably gonna regret it. Went with the chicken and waffles with a added side of red beans and rice.
And I got the meatloaf with mashed potatoes and mac and cheese.
It's a cute little spot. They got records all over the walls. They do have a bar. It looks like a pretty well-stocked bar.
Yeah.
And it's in a great central location. With your wristbands from the tour, you also get a free dessert with every entree.
All right, sounds
Pretty
good.
excited about that.
Let's go back in and get to tasting this yummy food.
Let's do it. Play a lot of great music in here, but speaking of music,
They have live music every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
all right, the food has finally arrived. It was a little bit longer than we anticipated, so we were first in. I think there might have been a little issue with our order, so we just got it about an hour later. We're a little bit tight on time because we have another event that we're going to immediately following this, so we're gonna try and make this snappy, but also let you know what we think. So Terry got the meatloaf, she got mashed potatoes and
Mac and cheese.
she also got cornbread. I got chicken and waffles, red beans and rice, and cornbread. So we're famous for the cornbread. We're gonna start there. Let's just jump into it and get as much of this in as we can. Pretty standard. There's some corn in there.
You could use a little honey and butter.
Now the chicken and waffles doesn't come with a side, but I got the red beans and rice because it looked like it was gonna be pretty good. Big meaty chunks. Spicy. It's pretty good. Go for your mashed potatoes and gravy.
Well, I ordered it without gravy, but it came with gravy.
And I got a straight potato.
A lot of flavor in the mashed potatoes.
A lot of flavor. Oh yeah, it's pretty good.
Test out this mac and cheese.
It's creamy, tangy. Noodles are good.
Got their famous
All right.
meatloaf.
Not a huge portion of meatloaf, so if you're coming hungry, maybe don't go with the meatloaf. Looks pretty good.
True. Soft.
It's definitely
It's very soft.
more of a minced texture. Could probably use a little gravy on there.
I got some on the side.
Giant tub of syrup. Gonna have to just pour it right on top. World famous for their chicken. Oh yeah. That's where it's at right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, here, try some. That fried chicken's the business. This is what you come here for.
It's crispy. A little moist inside.
But that definitely is the star of the show for me. Waffles flaky, it's soft. That's a good waffle. All right.
I like the crispiness of it.
Yeah.
It's good syrup too.
Like we said, we have to run off to another special event. We're going to another Ice Flyers game, but that one's just for us. We're not gonna be filming that one. So if you want to check out a previous video where we filmed the first time going to the Pensacola Ice Flyers, I'll link that one right here. Well, we've tried a lot of food here. Some of them just completely nailed it out of the park. Other ones, maybe pass on. But it's a really cool restaurant. It's a cool spot. If you're gonna come here, make sure you give yourself a little bit of time because it's home cooking. So home cooking sometimes you need a little extra time to get that love in there. We're not gonna have time to eat the desserts, so we're gonna take those to go. But I did want to mention that for all the food that we ate, it was really affordable across the board. So while we did have to wait a little bit longer than we had hoped for, the food that we did have was really good. Didn't really like the meatloaf that much because it was a little bit more of a minced consistency, would you say?
Yeah.
But again, I'll have to say the fried chicken and the waffles just beat the brakes off of everything else. If you don't come for anything else, definitely come for the fried chicken and the waffles. Amazing. But thanks again for following along this episode, and join us next time when we try something else new for the first time.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. First timers.
High five.
Your restaurant.
Yeah.
Seafood market.
With your wristband, you get free gelato. Actually, right there. Go.
We're at stop number 12.
Yeah.